Hi, my name's Brian, and I am an Education Program Coordinator at the Kimmel Center for the Performing Arts. Today I would like to do a short lesson about how to incorporate patterns into your improvisation. This can be a daunting task for most. Just practicing and having the dedication to work on patterns in the first place can be difficult, so you certainly have to make it fun for yourself. You have to find ways to do that. I'll try to show you a few of those things today. The other thing is how does one get them into your soloing? How do you just plant the pattern into your soloing? So there are a few ways that you can approach this. Step one, figure out what pattern you'd like to focus on. You don't want to spread yourself too thin and have multiple patterns that you're doing in multiple keys. It's a little bit too much to process at first. So what I'm going to do is just take the G major tonality, right? So this is a 1 sharp key signature. I'm going to be playing G on my instrument, by the way. Alto saxophone is a transposing instrument, so this would be B flat concert for any non-transposing instruments such as piano or guitar. So the first thing I'm going to do is become very familiar with the scale. I'm going to play it slowly, and I'm going to think about all the technical aspects that I want to be conscious of, really at all times, but especially when I'm focused on the technique of playing my particular instrument. I want to think about my posture, how I'm breathing and supporting, my embouchure, how I'm holding onto the mouthpiece to produce the sound, and a big one for us saxophonists specifically is finger technique. The fingers should be curved, light on the keys. If you're really clenched or if you're using a lot of pressure, that typically will hinder your ability to play fluently and fast, which should be an end goal for all of us at some point, right? You want to be able to play slow, but you also want to be capable of playing fast. So step one, play the scale incredibly slow so that you can actually think about all these elements I just mentioned. I'm trying to be really conscious about producing a good tone quality, and I'm also thinking about my tuning or intonation a lot. Now, let's say you're a 6th grader and you're fairly new to your instrument. Definitely get your hands on a tuner. You can buy them at music stores. You can get free apps on your phone or your iPad or whatever device you use these days, which is really convenient. And that instrument is going to show you exactly where perfectly in tune should be. So again, just something else to consider when you're doing it nice and slowly and it's still manageable. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the scale again, and then I'm going to arpeggiate it. So I can't play chords on my instrument. Obviously, I can't play multiple notes at once. So I'm going to play the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and then octave as just a secondary exercise once I complete the scale. Now I'm going to take this one step further before I start working on an actual pattern. I'm now going to take each degree of the scale. So G is the 1st degree, A is the 2nd, B is the 3rd, and so on. Again, I'm speaking in my key. And I'm now going to arpeggiate each one. I'm going to play the starting note, a 3rd above, and a 3rd above. So I came down much faster just for the sake of time, really, more than anything. But if that wasn't crystal clear what I was doing, I'll give you a piece of the pattern. You should be able to decipher the rest from there. G, B, D, next scale step up, A, C, E, B, D, F sharp, and so on. Now, how do I get this into my soloing? Well, you'd want to spend a lot of time playing this pattern over and over and over again. Repetition is huge as long as your technique is really, really solid while you're doing that. So you're reinforcing the good technique. So after a period of time, this should feel like there's some muscle memory, right? Your fingers sort of know how to travel through this particular pattern. So the next step is to just start playing over a standard that you like. Find a chord or two that's appropriate for these particular notes, right? So let's say you see a G major 7 chord. You can certainly play a G major scale on that tonality over that chord. It's going to sound really good. And you're just going to try to literally plug in that pattern, and the better you get at this, the more organic it's going to sound, but at first, you just plug it in. So if I improvise, I'm just going to make this up right now. So I hope that throughout, I mean, I was sort of dancing around and playing a lot of notes and using some different rhythms, but I was using that dee-da-da-da-dee-dum, that pattern here and there throughout. So I hope this has given you some stuff to think about. I hope you can transfer it into your jazz playing, and the most important thing is I hope that you continue to put technique and your practice of technique at a very, very high standard in your regimen and your routine. It's so crucial, and again, the greatest artists have amazing technique, so there's your inspiration. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you next time.